Hello and welcome back to Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm joined with my co-host Sid. How's it going, Sid?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Some interesting games today from the Champions League, so we can crack on straight into that now. So we've got your team, Man United against. Pronounce the name for me. How do you pronounce that name, Sid?
I don't know. I don't know. But
Istanbul Başakşehir.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it was 4-1, bro. It was 4-1.
4-1. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had this updated for half time, so let me update this quickly. So yeah, give me your thoughts on the game.
I think first half was really good. It looked composed. Bruno was on fire.
Yeah.
Rashford's looking really good as well. Yeah, he's scoring goals, but he's link up play, and also you forget how skillful he is. But yeah, I'm happy with him. I think we mentioned it last week. Martial's looking a bit flat. I'd have to admit it. This game wasn't really great for him.
Yeah.
It just wasn't working. Like, he was trying a lot of skill, and like it wasn't really working for him. Cavani up top didn't really have much chances, if I'm honest.
But he played all right. I could see him working hard for the team. So it's good that at least if he wasn't as prolific, that he's still working for the team, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. He's all round play is really good, but I suppose he was dried of service. Like he didn't really have much in the way of delivery, so
yeah,
it was good. Yeah, Van der Beek, as always, I think he controls the game, and it's quite apparent, how much influence he does have in those games.
Yeah.
Why he doesn't start in the Premiership? Maybe he's not trusted, or he's Solskjaer thinks he's not ready. But I think overall, first half was really good. Second half, we kind of like slipped off a little bit, allowed them to score via free kick, which I think De Gea should have done better with. But it is what it is. But yeah, Daniel James got a good goal. Yeah, it's just a comfortable victory. I mean, to be fair, last point is if we beat them previously, that would have more or less cemented our position for the next stage.
Yeah.
But of course, we do things difficult. So now we've got to make sure that we get at least a win from the last two games, which is possible, but no guarantees.
Yeah, I think your group's quite evenly balanced. I think I can see you guys doing well still. You've got PSG next, haven't you? So that will be the defining game, I think. But in terms of performances, I think Van der Beek, I think me and you both know he's a top quality player. We've seen him play for Ajax in the past. For me, he should be starting, regardless if it's a number 6 or as a number 8 or as a number 10. He should be starting in that team. And if that is at the expense of Pogba not being in the team, so be it. That's just my opinion. I think he fully deserves to be in that team. Anytime he's played, he's always made an impression.
Yeah.
I
think it's time.
It's time. I agree. I don't know if Ole sees it that way, because there's been times where he's played well, or he's made a good cameo, but then he's been dropped the next game, or he's not even in the squad the next game. So
what does Ole even see, my friend? What does he see?
It's true. So, but no, overall good win for United. I think it had to be sort of done considering what happened a couple of weeks ago. So, not revenge, but at least you've got your return game back, I guess, in terms of points. And the other English team that was playing today is Chelsea. So Chelsea won 2-1 today. It was the earlier kickoff. Giroud with the not final minute, but close enough. Close to the 90th minute goal. What did you think of the game overall?
To be honest, I'm not gonna. I didn't watch that because I was focused on my boys. But this result was even a surprise to me. I didn't even know the result of this game, so well done to them. But was it a good game then?
No, it was decent. They had a good game. I was impressed with one of the other players for Rennes, Doku, who's a Belgian young wing. Actually, he looked quite impressive. Hudson-Odoi scored the first goal. It was so nice finish playing on the right wing today. And Giroud, it was basically a pinpoint header from the middle of the box, but the ball was lofted in the air, and I think the defender should have headed the ball. And there was a defender who tried to clear it with his hand on the line, but it was just a pinpoint header from Giroud. So for me, it looked like it was going to end as a draw. So it was a great win for Chelsea in the end. They're picking up form quite a bit, which we'll probably go into a bit more once we talk about the Premier League. But overall, in terms of the Champions League, I don't think there were many surprises regarding the results. Let's see. So who do we have? So Sevilla won as well in their league. Dortmund. So Sancho scored a nice free kick. I'm not sure if you've seen it, Sid.
I haven't.
Yeah, it's a nice free kick. Haaland scored as well. Haaland breaking records every week. The way it looks like right now.
He's on fire, isn't he?
He scored 16 goals in the Champions League, more than some big players. So we're talking players like Zidane. He scored more goals than Zidane in the Champions League.
In the Champions League?
Yes. David Villa, Dybala, R9 even. Close, Riolev closer, Adriano, even Aubameyang. He's got more goals than these guys. And he's only played, I believe, 12 matches in the competition.
12 matches?
Yeah.
Are you lying? Or?
No, I'm literally reading this off BT Sports Twitter right now. So that's the stat, that he scored 16 goals in 12 games.
Jesus. And he scored 4 goals on the weekend.
Yeah.
He's going to break most records.
100%. If he continues the way he's going on now, well, he won't be playing for Dortmund next season, that's for sure. I could see him being in the Premier League. Well, I love Liverpool.
You think so?
I would love to see him in the Premier League. Well, I'd like Liverpool to sign him because we have been linked to him, but it's his agent. I think we've spoken about this before. It's his agent that seems to be the factor here, because he's not someone that a lot of clubs like to do business with. But
people want to work with,
I'd love to see him in the Premier League. Next year, maybe too soon, but I feel like he's making such big strides right now that it can't be ignored, you know. So, and he's doing it on the Champions League on the main stage. So it's not just German football; he's doing it in the Champions League as well. So it's interesting to see how he develops as time goes on. So, but overall, I think pretty much straightforward. I think so. Lazio won their game as well. Barcelona won 4-0. So against Dynamo. Yeah, and Juventus won 2-1 as well. So, and PSG won in your group. So overall, I'd say a good round up for the Champions League. So let's begin with our bread and butter, the Premier League. So the first game we can start with is Spurs against Man City. So Spurs are top of the league. Well, joint top, I would like to add with Liverpool. But we have to put that in it.
Talking about Liverpool.
Listen, we'll talk about Liverpool further down the episode as well. But what did you think of the performance by Spurs?
I think it was really good. I mean, to be fair, like, it wasn't where they overpowered them, or it was a dominating game. And, you know, because Man City had their chances as well.
Yeah.
But I think they just didn't capitalize on them. Like, but I was going to say Chelsea. Tottenham, I don't know what it is. Like, Mourinho magic, is it coming back? But their performance looks so assured. The defense, the additions that they've signed this summer are just gelling and clicking in. Like, they're performing. Son and Kane's partnership is just, the understanding that they have is different level. And Kane's still scoring, but his creative play is getting better as well.
Yeah.
And I think Dyer being in the centre-back position is really helping. I don't know if that's just me, but I think he looks more composed there than anywhere else on the pitch.
I couldn't agree more with you, to be fair. I've said this for a while, and we've mentioned it before as well, that for me, he's always been a centre-back. The way he plays, the way, like, his style of ability as well, you can just tell he's a centre-back. I think playing him as a defensive mid was a bit too sort of far-fetched in terms of the outlook of the game. But yeah, for me, he looks very impressive as a centre-back. He's a natural leader. You can tell the way he plays. He sort of helps the team play as well in terms of dictating from the back. Yeah, for me, he was phenomenal in terms of yesterday. 2 days ago. You've also got Alderweireld, who unfortunately got injured during the game, but he's looked really well and he's kept himself in form as well this season as well. And they've got so many good players. It's like literally go through the team. Like you said, Kane has added assists to his games as well, which has added another dimension to the play. It's just a very well dribbed Jose Mourinho team. That's how I'm seeing it right now. And they look really strong.
It's true.
The only concern would be, as in further down the line, is injuries. Can they maintain their sort of the squad? Because I'm not sure. I don't know how you feel, but with their squad, do you think they are genuine title contenders that they can win the league, or is it dependent on how other teams around perform as well?
I think you're right. It's dependent on the squad.
Yeah.
They've got a squad. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think they've got that quality in depth.
Yeah.
Strength in depth, and that's the problem they will have. Like they've got players. It's not that, but it's the ones where Son's injured. Are you comfortable that you're going to replace him with X?
Yeah.
Like you said, if a defender goes missing or Dyer becomes injured, like do you have that quality and abundance to say, okay, cool, he's missing, but I can slot this guy in? I think the only one that I would say fairly confident is maybe the goalkeeper, because Joe Hart is still a reliable keeper.
Yeah.
So
and Gazaniga as well. So they've got 3 good goalkeepers.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you're right. It's dependent on what other people do, but the Prem's not looking that cert this season, so anyone can do whatever. And Leicester's up there, your boys are up there. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's not a guarantee for whoever.
So that's something I wanted to speak to you about, is Man City. How are you kind of viewing their form right now? Is it just a dip in form, or do you think they don't have the right quality to cement a challenge this year? Because they've already been sort of not written off as such, but people already have that kind of perspective that, they're not really going to challenge the way they have in previous seasons.
It's all over, Jackie. It's all over. I think no, to be fair, it's not all over, but they won't be challenging this season. I mean, fair enough. Pep, suppose he did sign a new deal, isn't it?
Yeah, a 2-year contract extension.
Okay, fine, but I don't think they've got it this year. They've been, not that they've been found out, but it's just that the quality is not there. Or do you see what I'm saying? I don't know whether Pep's taking his foot off the gas. Like if he's elsewhere, yes, he signed the deal, but he can still go. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't mean anything. So. I think this season it's not looking good for them. I think their main shout will be Liverpool, Leicester, Spurs, and that's it. I wouldn't even put Chelsea in that bracket.
Okay, that's interesting. I'll speak to you about Chelsea as further down the show. But yeah, I kind of agree with you, to be honest with you. I think, I don't know, like in terms of recruitment, Ake is a decent Premier League player, I guess. I don't know, something's missing. I think the loss of David Silva hasn't been replaced, I think, in my opinion. And also, Aguero always been injured as well. He's actually played a big part. I know Jesus plays and does well as well at times, but I think if you're trying to challenge the top honours, the striker has to be a bit more of an elite in terms of consistent, where he's scoring a number of goals all the time. Jesus is great to have on the bench and great to make an impact on, but I don't think he's quite at that level, in my opinion. So yeah, it's a strange one for them. I haven't really even been impressed the way they played it either. So I think left back's been still one of their big problems. I think they didn't resolve that during the summer. Yeah, I think you might be right in terms of they've kind of been found out in terms of how they play. And teams know how to get the best out of them as well at the same time. So yeah, it's an interesting one, to be honest. So the next fixture is Liverpool. So Liverpool won 3-0 against Leicester. So I can jump in and then
over to you, my friend.
Say what I have to say. But yeah, I was overly impressed. I was considering how many injuries the team has right now. Like, we've got no Van Dijk, obviously, out for the season, no Gomez, no Henderson, no Trent, no Thiago, no Oxlade-Chamberlain. Like, the list goes on and on and on. But we're still grinding out results. And for me, we do have the quality in the squad, but it's a mentality thing as well at the same time. Like, everyone seems to be quite driven. Even when the youngsters play, they seem to look like they've played for the team numerous occasions. So for me, I was really impressed with Robertson and Milner as well, who played like 2-3 different positions during the game. And he's just like, for me, he needs to stay because I think he's in his final year of his contract. We need to give him an extension, and that includes Gini Wijnaldum as well. For me, I don't know why we've not given him a contract. Like, it needs to be done as soon as possible. So,
But do you think he'll go though?
do you know what? I think it just depends on the club. I think he would love to stay at the club, but if he's been forced to kind of leave, or if he doesn't get the terms that he believes he deserves, then rightfully so, he's entitled to leave the club. But yeah, for me personally, I don't want to see Gini Wijnaldum. He needs to stay. And Robert Firmino as well, who so unlucky with his shot where it was literally 1 millimeter away from being a goal. It doesn't get closer than that, does it? So yeah, ridiculous.
How are you rating his performances this season though? Honestly,
up before that game, he's been below par in terms of the standards that he sets. It's more of a confidence thing. I think in front of goal, he's not really as confident as he normally is. His overall play has been decent, but normally for me, is really good with his first touch and link-up play, which hasn't been evident this season. But I will say this, against Leicester, I think you saw a more improved, but like the typical Firmino performance where his link-up play was phenomenal. He was actually doing quite a few dribbles as well, nearly scored a couple of times. He was just very unlucky not to score in the early half of the game, and finally got his goal towards the end with a header, which was a great goal as well. So for me, he's still vital in the way we play. And I know people are saying that, because Jota has been so great that Firmino needs to be displaced. I think they can all play together. That's how great all of our forwards are. They can. You don't think so? Why do you say that?
I mean, you watch a lot more Liverpool than me, but how would it work?
Well, we played 4 of them against Man City, and it practically worked to that extent. I think the way Liverpool played, and I've noticed this with other teams as well. First half they kind of go all out, and then second half it sort of dips down a little bit. I think that's just because of the congested fixture list right now. So teams are a bit more reserved in terms of how much effort they put during the latter stages. Obviously, if you're 2-0 up at halftime, you have to go all the way and try and score lots of goals. But no, for me, I think they can all play. Especially Jota's shown as well that he can play left, right, middle, and still be as effective in any position. Firmino, for me, naturally looks like a number 10, but because of his such great ability, he can play as a number 9. But we play more like a false 9, so he tends to dip more a bit more than a typical number 9. So, and then you've got Mane. Salah's back as well, so he should be in contention to play tomorrow. Actually, so he did another test a couple of days ago, and he tested negative for COVID-19. So he should be playing. I'm not sure if he'll start, but he should get some game tomorrow. So yeah, I think it can work. And to be honest with you, we've got so many injuries that we don't have a wealth of midfielders available. To be honest with you, we've got Fabinho, who's a defender now. Let's be honest, he's a centre back for the rest of the season until Van Dijk's back. You've got Thiago, who's I think on the verge of returning, but not quite sure yet. Henderson's out, and you've got Milner, who's right back now because Trent isn't available. So we've not got that many numbers. Keita just got injured as well against Leicester.
Wow.
Forever injured, unfortunately. So there's not many options. So 4-2-3-1 probably suits us in terms of what we have available and what would fit in terms of our attackers as well, because we've got a number of attackers still available. We've still got Shaqiri, we've still got Origi and Minamino as well. So yeah, we've still got our players. I know Minamino hasn't had much game time, but I think he's still getting used to it, to be fair. He's still getting used to the speed of the Premier League, but also the physicality as well. Like when you see him play, he's very aggressive. But for me, that's not the aspect of the game he needs to improve on. It's when he's got the ball and he needs to shrug off defenders around him. That's where he's not quite as confident as he probably was when he played in the Austrian league. So yeah, I'm plenty of time for him to improve. But overall, for me, Jota the Shotter, as I like to call him, he's
good.
He's so good, like, because I watched him a lot for Wolves as well, but I think he's kind of surpassed everyone's expectations. That people just thought he'd be an impact sub player, but he can't be displaced. He has to play every week. So yeah, He's in phenomenal. So long may it continue. Yeah, very, very, very impressive him. On to our next game, Sid. Chelsea. Newcastle against Chelsea. Do they look like serious title contenders to you, Sid?
No, I don't know what I don't know if I'm watching different games. Like I don't actually understand. And having momentum is like saying when United had momentum last season and they was going to challenge for the Champions League or the Premiership. Stop kidding yourself. Winning games is different to being certain of performances. Like when Liverpool had a run of games and won, there's two factors to that. You was playing amazing and the confidence. United was just pot luck. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, we was playing good, but there was no guarantee what was going to like happen the next game. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No.
Like I see Chelsea, I don't see anything spectacular. People may tell me I'm deluded or I don't know what I'm watching yet, but I watched that game, the Chelsea-Newcastle game, own goal, number one. Tammy, lucky at the last minute. But beyond that, how do you say, is it Ziyech?
Ziyech, yeah.
He is a star man. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
You can't take that away from him. Do I see anything special with Werner? No. Thiago Silva is also doing decent considering his age, coming from the French league. Chilwell, I'm sorry, but it's expected of him. He's played for Leicester. You can't play well for Leicester and come to Chelsea and not replicate that. But I don't see them where they're going to have that consistent run of games to be like Chelsea are. That's why I didn't say them previously. I still think it's Tottenham, Liverpool, Leicester have got a better shot than Chelsea. You know,
that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to hear your thoughts, but I just don't see it.
I think for me, it's, in terms of Chelsea, I think a lot of people concentrate in terms of stats and their recent results that they're winning games, so they're thinking things have changed. But I don't think they'll challenge for the title. I still think they're challenging for top four. I don't see them making a serious mount to the title challenge, if I'm honest with you. I think some players have improved their play. So the players you've just listed, like Ziyech, who unfortunately got injured early on in the season, is a star. Like we can see it. He's a star player. He's head and shoulders above everyone at Chelsea. It's so evident to see. Werner, he's a bit hot and cold right now, if I'm honest with you. He showed good glimpses during the Newcastle game. Unlucky not to score more, but I think he was improving. But then I watched him today, and he missed not an open goal, but basically a shot from like 6 yards, and he just lofted it over the goal. So, and like his touch wasn't quite there today. Like, and his link-up play wasn't. He's playing out wide, but for me, that's not an excuse because he's played out wide in his career before, and it's his style of play anyway, where he normally likes to drift onto the left wing anyway, even if he does play as a centre striker. So for me, I think they're doing well. They're improving. I think obviously Kepa was a big issue for them, and they've resolved that, which is fantastic for them. They've got a new goalkeeper, and he looks pretty solid. So title contenders, he's good. Title contenders, not quite for me, but I think serious challenges for top four, as in they can probably cement that quite easily this season. So that would be my verdict on that. So let's go on to your team, Sid. Manchester United against West Brom. Well, I need to say one thing about the match. It's nothing to do with United or anything like that. It's the FA. Why have they asked or appointed a referee that is a Man United supporter? And it's so like evident that he's a Man United supporter. If you go to his Facebook, Sid, he's got a profile picture with Old Trafford in the background. So it's like biased agendas going on. And obviously, listen, he's an awful referee as well. Like, let's get straight into the penalty that West Brom should have been given, in my opinion. Like, I think this is how I see it, Sid. So because he has that alliance with Manchester United he's a Manchester United fan, let's be honest, right? So when he sees a 50-50 challenge, he's not going to see it as 50-50. in his mind, it's going to be as a 60-40 that's how the challenge is viewed. Because let's put it this way: if me and you were a referee and we would referee for like our teams on the pitch right now, you know there'll be a slight biasness in the back of your head. It's just natural because it's a team you love. So for me, that 50-50 challenge that he saw became 60-40 towards United, literally. So he saw it and it's like, yeah, like 50-50, that's so easy to kind of dispel in terms of saying, oh yeah, it could go either way, right? That's why it's 50-50. So for me, he just took the easy card out and just like, yeah.
Shocking behaviour.
But yeah, you can do that's my little rant on the referee, because I think he should not be assigned as a main referee or VAR, maybe as a fourth official, or I don't know if he can be a linesman, but just stand on the sideline somewhere, isn't it? But so you can give me your thoughts on the games. What did you think of the game overall?
It was just another boring game, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
it
wasn't
we
great.
were very lucky.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I'll be real. I'm not going to feed you a bed of lies, like it was boring. And again, this is, I don't know what needs to change, whether it's the coaching, like, in training, or he's just not a good manager. And that might be the case, but you've got some of the world's best talent in front of you. Yeah, literally. And I'm not even exaggerating. You've got Pogba, who everyone says is the best midfielder in the world. My friend, prove it. Please, I'm still waiting. You've got Van de Beek, like, who rightfully so is an up-and-coming talent. You've got Martial on his day. You can't touch Martial. You've got Rashford, who, I can't say much about him previously, but this season he's doing all right, and then we've got, our defense is terrible. Let's not even go into that. But regardless, we've got good quality players. So what is the factor? Now you look at, sorry to take it away from the game, but you look at what Mourinho's doing at Tottenham. I'm sorry, but could you not argue we have and had a better squad than Tottenham do now?
Right now?
I mean, okay, look. So at the disposal, when Mourinho had us, to what he's got now at Tottenham, I can argue our squad was slightly better.
That's interesting.
I think we didn't have much depth.
I'd probably edge it for Tottenham. I just think they've got quality players around. And because they've been a solid unit as well in terms of as a squad, you have that as your advantage as well, where players know how like Kane and Son, they've been playing with each other for a long time. So, like, if you do it as a comparison, like for me, Son's better than Martial. Kane's probably, who's your main striker? Rashford, Kane, I'd say better than Rashford. But it's arguable. I guess, obviously, it depends how you look at it. But for me, Sid, I've said this to you quite a few times now. It's the manager. The manager doesn't have a vision. He doesn't have a philosophy. So every game is like a trial or like a first day at the office kind of thing, where you just see how it goes. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, that's literally his mentality. There's no structure in terms of like, this is how I want my team to play. These are the type of players I want, and they all have to fit into the system that I want them to play. Because the formations are changing every week. You'll know that more than anyone said. Like, there's so much inconsistency with that. And Pogba, I get it, great talent and all that, but for me, he doesn't perform at the club. So you have to give someone like Van der Beek a chance, who, whenever I've seen him play for United, forget Ajax, because I've rated him for a long time, but he does the job. He does really well. Today he was man of the match for me against Başakşehir. So for me, he should be starting. So, but it's argument in terms of, you're right. Your squad is a lot better than it was last season. You've added Telles, who's an established left back with a great crossing ability. I would still say you need a right back. I know Wan-Bissaka is good, but I've had this debate about you. But I feel like personally, if I was a coach, I'd move him as a centre back and then play a more offensive right back. I still feel like you lack a DM though. If you had a defensive mid, I think that will help the way you set up as a team. But you've got Bruno, who's top quality. Like, you can't. I know everyone calling him Fernandes because of the amount of penalties he wins, but at the end of the day, look at the boy's ability. He can play, You've got Rashford, great young player. You've got Greenwood, who's kind of gone under the boil this season, but I'm hoping he improves. He's just dip of form, all these kind of personal issues that he's been having off the pitch. Hopefully, he gets back to playing like he was last season. Got great talent in the squad, but yeah, for me, it's always been Ole's he's the question mark. I don't think it's the players. So
yeah,
but
it's a shame because
yeah,
grinding out results is fine, but we'll get caught out eventually. There will be another. Unfortunately, there's going to be another like 5-0, 6-1 performance around this season because it's just the way he sets us up. And I do think something needs to change. Like he needs to just assess the team, look at what is his best formation, and stick to it. And decide Pogba in, Pogba out. These are the questions that you can't keep on asking every season. What's the best approach for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going forward? And it's just like he should know this by now. It doesn't take podcasts like us to tell him this is your best team. No, but it's true though. It's true. It doesn't take that. He needs to sort himself out. You're getting however many millions.
Yeah.
So he needs to be able to be okay, fine. This is my best team. Get Maguire out of that team. Period. Just sort yourself out. But he's
not bold enough.
He's not going to do. No, he's not. He's not. He's just a puppet. But if you want to succeed, these are the things that you have to do. If you want to be bold, you will literally look at that team and be like, Pogba, wait, let me sort out Van der Beek first. Let me see him. Give him a chance. Maguire, see you later. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that would be the best thing. But I mean, that game was just boring. Well done. We've got the win. But yeah, there's a lot more improvements to be made.
I would like to say one more thing about Ole is that I don't see players playing for him. Like when you see a Jose Mourinho team, you can see that they're doing it for him to impress the manager. But I don't see that connection with the player manager. I don't know how you feel about that. As a neutral, I don't see that. I don't see someone running their gut for Ole to make sure we get the win. Obviously, they want to win for their team. But for a lot of high-profile players, they do it for their manager as well at the same time to make sure that they're doing what's been requested of them. So I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, but you can look at Ole, even how he is on match day. My guy's up in the stands, sitting, crossing his leg like he's, at a parents' teachers meeting. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like he's watching whilst his kids gets interrogated and the teacher's telling, "Oh, your son's not doing well at school." Like, get up, stop just sitting there, stop being a mute. Like you got Mike Phelan, on the touchline.
Yeah,
he's more active than you. Like you want players to play for you. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you 100%. But if there's no rapport with your players, why would they play for you? If they see that your manager is sitting down, they're going to be like, "Cool, I can get away with anything."
Yeah,
it's like these disobedient kids. They know if their parents aren't disciplining them, they're going to misbehave.
Yeah,
it's just what I'm saying. So I think Klopp, players play for him. Mourinho, players play for him. Brendan Rodgers, Pep, Brendan Rodgers, all these people, they play for them because they want to do well for the club, but they're managers as well. Who wants to play for Ole? Who?
I think that's the quote of the episode. Who wants to play for
Ole? Anyway, ran over, but yeah, that's a good point though.
Yeah, we'll move on to Leeds United and Arsenal. I know it's a 0-0, so not much to talk about, I guess, in that aspect. But
Pepe unlucky.
For me, Leeds played really well. I was really impressed with the way Leeds played. Rodrigo was quite unlucky not to score. He had some couple nice shots that would just fizz past the goal. But the question mark, I think it's been the kind of like the tail of the season for Arsenal in terms of their creativity. And Patrice Evra said it perfectly in Sky Sports. Where's Ozil?
He's too funny. This guy, they can't get rid of him.
No, they can't. He's great personality to have on the show. But yeah, where is Ozil?
But again, Arteta is just another. I'm sorry, yeah. Like I like Arteta, and he's a lot more. I got to give him more props than Ole. That goes without saying. But
Yeah.
what are you doing? It will take for you to just, swallow your pride. Bring Ozil. Yes, we talked about how the traditional number 10 position isn't what it used to be,
Yeah.
but he could still do business, my friend.
So clarify something for me, Sid. Is there like a personal issue between the player, or because I don't actually entirely know why he's not in the squad or why he doesn't get selected?
It's probably a collection of things. Like I would say it's a player manager issue.
Fine.
It's a dispute. Fundamentally, let's be honest, I think that's what it will be. Because if you're looking at Ozil, he will still do the business. If you don't want to play him, there's obviously a reason behind that.
Yeah. But shouldn't
So
he swallow his pride and play Ozil, because the team is not doing any creativity whatsoever? Like, it will literally hamper their progress this season. I
yeah,
know we're only November, but December is when we're saying it's a congested fixture list now. Watch when we hit Christmas. It's going to be like a game every couple of days. And it's going to have a big impact on their season because they're not challenging right now. They're quite far down the table. Aubameyang's not firing anywhere. So obviously you need someone like an Ozil to come in and dictate the play from the third half of the pitch. For me, it's ridiculous. He needs to swallow his pride and play Ozil. They've got no creativity whatsoever. Like, they've got players like El Nini. Like, he's not going to assist Aubameyang, or no offense, but he's not going to assist these players up front. He's not a playmaker. He's a defensive mid. So I don't know. I can see why a lot of Arsenal fans go through so many rants during the weekends. But yeah, it's crazy.
But there's no consistency, and that's the problem. Like Arsenal will have one good performance, and then be like, "Oh yeah, Arteta's the savior," and then next game it's like, "Oh, get him out." What do you want? Like, come on,
make your mind up.
Exactly. You coming or you going?
No, I agree with you. So we'll see how it pans out for them. I think Arsenal fans will agree as well. I think they have to play Ozil now. It's a bit of a joke now that they're not playing him, despite. Actually, can he even play in the Premier League? Is he in the squad or not?
Well, he didn't get registered, isn't it?
Shoot. So maybe I'm not going to talk any further than that then, because
he didn't get
the boy can't even play.
But they can change that from December, though, isn't it?
From December, but that's going to be too late. I think literally the Christmas period is going to be make or break for a lot of teams this season.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's hope things improve for Arsenal. But I'll be honest with you, it doesn't look like it.
It's not looking good.
No, it's not looking good. But we can go over and do our team of the week. So some interesting performances this season. So let's start off with the goalkeeper. Who do you have in goal? Oh, before we start, actually, what's your formation?
Oh wait, 4-2-3-1.
Cool. Okay, so I'll go 4-4-2. I don't know why I'm going 4-4-2. It's like an old school formation. But
yeah, I was gonna say what.
Yeah,
back in the
I
day,
would never play that. Yeah, I would never play that as a formation. But I think the players I've selected kind of fit that bill. So, who have you got as your goalkeeper?
No surprise here, David De Gea.
Have you seriously?
Yeah. Yeah.
Explain yourself. Why do you De Gea in goal?
He just looked really composed, He sounded out chances. I think slowly his confidence coming, isn't it? I just think. Who did you have?
Dude, I don't know if you're messing around or you're being genuine right
now. No. It's my team of the week.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. My one is actually the opposite goalkeeper in that match, Johnston.
He had a good game.
He had a good game. Like, he made some top say. I think 6 in total. So unfortunately, still at the losing side. I did actually wanted to ask you, because you used to play as a goalkeeper back in the day. What's your thoughts on this new goal line thing where penalties are happening, where the goalkeeper has to stay on the line and they can't jump forward? Because I think the goalkeeper, the way he saved Fernandez's first one, it was a good save, obviously. And then the second one, the goal counted, but technically he still broke the law. He was still forward, so that should have been retaken as well.
It, what you'll see, it favors the attacking team.
100%.
So obviously, we first saw it with IU, Crystal Palace first, Man United first game of the season.
Yeah.
De Gea saved it,
Yeah.
but of course jumped off his line. See, now you've got to be careful because you've got to look at it. People like, I think Jorginho did it last season, and Fernandes has adopted it as well. That running, or that staggered approach.
Yeah.
Listen, me and Go, I'm off that line as soon as I see him do that pony, mate. So it's like, I sympathize because it's not fair because you have to run in and then stop. Of course, I'm going to react to that. Natural instincts are based on that.
Yeah.
Is it fair? No, but what rules make sense nowadays? If the second goal, you're right, he did come off his line, but we scored, so it favored us. But I don't really agree with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's not consistent, is it?
No. And the run-ups don't help as well.
Yeah, a lot of players are adopting that run-up now, so it's going to be even more difficult for the goalkeepers to kind of gather in terms of what they need to do. So
yeah,
it's a tricky one, to be honest with you. So who do you have as your left back?
Sorry. I have Telles.
Who do you have?
Telles.
Sid, have you United 11 here? Oh my God. That's the joke last week that Sid's got in. You generally have a United 11, don't you, Sid?
No. But look, I think he played well. He had a good game. Premiership debut. I think he did good. Sounded out chances, linked up well. Why would I not pick him? I was very impressed with him.
All right, fair enough.
Who did you have?
I got Robertson.
Oh, obviously.
It was a close one, though. I was thinking of Luka Dean for Everton.
Yeah, he had a good game.
But the reason I didn't pick him is because technically he didn't play left back in that game. He played more as a left mid. So it was a bit more far forward. But he had a good game. He was quite impressive in terms of his crossing ability. But Robertson just ran the show for me, in my opinion. So, so I've gone for Robertson. Who have you got as your right back?
I got Serge. I can't say his name. Aurier.
Bloody, I thought you were going to go Wan-Bissaka there for a second.
No. Next week, maybe.
So why have you selected Serge?
I think to be fair, what's his name? Doherty's injured, isn't it?
Yeah.
For Spurs. And there was a lot of question marks with Serge, certainly last season.
Yeah.
Coming from PSG and all that. But I think props to him. He's actually doing well, and I think that's under the guidance of Mourinho. He's taken him under his wing and said, "Look, this is your chance to stake your claim and all of that." And I think he was an assured performance. So yeah. What about you? Who did you?
I think any of the Tottenham defenders could have been in the team of the week. Like, they were all really good. It's interesting you say that about Aurier because I watched the documentary, the Tottenham one, the All or Nothing one, and he did have question marks about Aurier when he joined the club, as in Mourinho. So I think he always thought him as too flamboyant, or he didn't have enough kind of ability to defend as well. Like, he didn't have the all-round game. But to be fair, anytime he's played for Tottenham, he looked solid. And then last season, he added goals to his game as well. So yeah, and this season he's doing well. So that's the strength and depth that you've got. Doherty, for me, is a solid all-rounder. And you got Aurier as well. So well done to Tottenham. They're doing well in that aspect. I've got Milner in my team. He plays right back, plays centre mid as well, but played great in both positions. So, could have played him in right back, could have played him in midfield. Like, it was just unbelievable. So,
yeah. Of course, yeah.
So, an argument's there. Who's your centre back pairing?
I got Zuma and Dyer.
Interesting.
Yeah, how about you?
I've got Zuma, so I was impressed with Zuma's performance. I've got from Ben White from Brighton.
Oh, yeah.
So he had a good game for me. I think that's one of his best games of the season so far. And then he made that crucial tackle at the end. blocking the ball from Watkins from equalising. So he is an impressive player for me because I watched him quite a few times last season in the Championship. Yeah, he's got good technical abilities. I think it's just for him is can he do it at Premier League level right now? And to be fair, he's done really well this season. So, I've got a little soft spot for Brighton. I think they're a really good team. So I think he definitely deserves to be in the squad. So you've got a 4-2-3-1 formation. So who's your two centre mids?
Your favourite, Declan Rice.
Okay.
And then, sorry, go for Fred.
You said it, Nick.
Fred had. Watch Fred. No, listen. Watch Fred.
I watched him today. Did you see him roll around? The guy got rolling around like he got shot. There's no spectators, my friend. No guns allowed in that stadium, mate. No one's gonna shoot him.
No, I've been I'm Fred's fan.
You've got Fred 2 weeks in a row, Sid.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to displace him. He's just running like middle distance runner. Just doesn't stop. He's just there. Snuffing out this chance and everything.
Paid you to do this because I know you've met him in real life. So how much has he paid you?
Don't worry, we talk about that later. But but yeah, he's just pew pew pew. He's everywhere. What about you?
Oh my god, unbelievable. So I've got a 4-4-2 formation. So my two centre mids are Declan Rice as well, and Højbjerg. I hope I pronounced that correctly. My missus is Danish, so she won't be happy if I didn't pronounce that right. But yeah, he's
different
for me. He's one of the best signings of the season. Forget Tottenham. I'm talking in general. I think he's been such a great addition to that team. Considering Eriksen left, another fellow Danish player, last season, and they replaced him. But they're not like for like in terms of ability. But Højbjerg is the right fit for that team in terms of the way they play with the two centre mids. Like he breaks play, but he can start dictate play as well, and he can score goals. And for me, he's been one of their solid performers this season, in my opinion. So, and Ndombele as well. I was going to put Ndombele as well. But he needs a mention because I think last season he was already regarded as a flop like 2-3 months into it because of his price tag. But he's been phenomenal as well. Like he's really stepped up this season, so he deserves a bit of praise as well at the same time. So who's your number 10? Oh God!
Yeah, I'm joking. I put I don't know if this is perfect, but Son. I put Son. I had to mention Son because I just think consistency is there. Do you see what I'm saying? So props to him, man.
I've got Son in my team as well, but he's on my left, so you can't. Yeah, he's one of my favorite players outside Liverpool. My favorite Premier League player. So yeah, he's just great to watch.
He's doing bits.
Yeah, so consistent and is always getting goals. So yeah, fully deserves to be my team this week as well. Who do you have on your right?
Ziyech.
Interesting. And who do you have on your left? On the other side?
I had your boy Jota.
Okay, yeah. So I've got Jota on my right. So that's my midfield complete. Who's your striker? And then I'll name my two strikers.
Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, I think I made a mistake with my fantasy team, which we'll talk about in terms of like I should have put him as my captain. I told someone else to do it, and I forgot to do it myself because obviously they were playing Fulham, so that's like guaranteed points. If you make him captain, you get double points, isn't it? But yes, that's a little mistake that I made over the weekend. But yeah, in terms of my two strikers, I've got Calvert-Lewin and I've got Harry Kane. So I think
it goes without saying, isn't it?
Yeah, it goes without saying. I think those two stand-up performers in terms of up front. You could have debated about maybe Walcott because he scored yesterday as well. I think maybe Abraham. I don't know. I wouldn't have placed him in my team, but I think those two, Calvert-Lewin and Kane, deserve to be. Yeah, I know you're not a big fan of Abraham, are you, Sid? So
not at all.
Also, yeah. So I think, not bad. I'm a little bit shocked about some of your selections there, Sid.
Why?
But
Why?
Sid, if Fred is there next week,
world-class players.
We will have to have words. I can't believe.
What
guys,
am I to do if he just plays?
Listen, guys. Please comment. No, guys. Comment and let us know what you think about this selection of Fred. Like, is it just biased views here? I don't know. Like, I feel like you've got a soft
Oh,
spot
but
for.
Milner and Robertson isn't. Oh,
Come on, Milner was
come on,
absolute,
Ozzy.
and Robertson's the best left back in the league. Like, let's be honest. So
Okay, yeah, yeah. And Fred is the best in his position in the league.
oh
Yeah.
God, please,
Anyway,
please.
I'm joking. I'm joking. That one, I'm joking.
Swiftly moving on before we start getting some angry comments on our feed. Fantasy football. Sid, I had a bad week. I don't know about you. How did you do?
I got 51 points, which is okay.
You did right. I got what did I get? I got 40 something. I've dropped in the league. I'm
Where
actually
are you
seventh.
now? Oh,
But the
oh,
gap between actually no, I take that back. It's been refreshed. So I'm fourth.
okay.
But I would say literally from do you know what? It's so neck and neck. Literally from position 16th to third, it's like 5-10 point difference. So anyone
Really?
can kind of overtake each other. So yeah, I got 43.
Yeah.
So I'm not hugely impressed with that. But there was one gentleman in our league, he scored 81 points. Mr.
Wow.
Rizal Echo Kunyawan. I'm sorry if I haven't pronounced your name correctly there. But yeah, you've had a great week. So well
Jeez.
done to Rizal, 81 points. That's impressive. Because
That's really good.
that's really good because I literally got half of those points. So well done to you. Before we wrap up, Sid, I just wanted to highlight the top game this week that's taking place at Matchweek 10. Spurs against Chelsea. So just give me like your predictions for this game. How do you see this going?
Spurs 4-1.
4-1. You really don't.
No. It'll probably be Spurs 2-0.
Yeah, that's the scoreline.
I just think they've just got too much for them. Like, this will be a good tester to see how well Lampard is really doing, because I just see it as calm down, innit? Like, you've done well, you're not really beating in many big clubs, but I think Spurs have got this in the bag.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Is that the same for you?
Yeah, I'm going for 2-0. Literally, that's the score I had in my mind as well. 2-0. I think their defense is so solid right now. I can't see Chelsea troubling them that much, if I'm honest with you. Ziyech might trouble them in certain aspects, but I don't think they'll score, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, I'm going for 2-0 for Spurs as well. But yeah, so that wraps us up for tonight. So guys, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate your support. So next week, there's Champions League next week. I feel like it's Champions League every week, isn't it? So we'll be back next week at 10:30 again. So thanks for listening or watching, guys, and we shall see you soon.
Take care. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.